Did you know every modern Samsung phone is hiding a cute chihuahua inside its software? Or how about the fact that the iPad was born before the iPhone even existed? Whether you just stumbled here from your homepage or the YouTube algorithm decided to bless you, we're diving into 25 totally random facts you probably didn't know about the world of tech. Think you already know it all? Well, you definitely will by the time we're done here. Hey, I'm Olive, your host here at Versus.com, and remember, you can join our community by hitting the join button down below for exclusive videos and perks. And here's a shout out to Ukraina, Roosevelt, Milan, Graham, and Jason for joining our Ultra family. Believe it or not, iPhone is not an Apple original name. Way before Apple dropped their first smartphone, the iPhone name was being used by Cisco for their office phones. After a bit of legal clash with Cisco, both brands basically agreed to share the name. On top of that, Apple's iOS name also technically belongs to Cisco, and Apple uses it under a licensing agreement. Apple's iOS stands for iPhone Operating System, while Cisco's iOS stands for Internet Work Operating System. Android wasn't always the smartphone operating system we know today. Android co-founder Andy Rubin revealed that the OS was originally built for digital cameras that offered cloud storage. However, focus quickly shifted given the rise in popularity of mobile devices. While Samsung and Apple are fighting the pointless fight to see who can make the slimmest phone on the market, the 2016 Moto Z is still slimmer at 5.2 millimeters thin. However, the 2014 Vivo X5 Max is still thinner at a ridiculous 4.7 millimeters. Your iPhone might look like it has dual speakers at the bottom, but only one of these grills pumps out audio. The other one is just an incognito housing for a microphone. Staying on the bottom of the device, Apple goes the extra mile by making the USB-C ports match the specific color of the phone, while most Android phones just stick with a basic black look. To keep the very first Google Pixel looking completely flat on the back without a camera bump, the phone is actually a bit thicker at the top than it is at the bottom. The S Pen on the Galaxy Ultra phones has a very specific burnt plastic smell. This isn't a clever trick to stop kids from swallowing it, but it's because the phone itself gets toasty during normal use and charging that it gives the S Pen that funky scent. And about that cute chihuahua hiding in every Galaxy phone, to find it, just open the phone app and dial *0*#. Tap on sensor and then hit image test. To get out of there, just double swipe back. Samsung's biggest seller last year wasn't a fancy model from the S series or even a device you've probably seen a commercial for. It was actually the Galaxy A16 5G, which retails for $199. iPhones pretty much kicked off the whole non-removable battery trend, but the battery on the very first iPhone wasn't just inaccessible, it was completely soldered straight to the device. While we're on that topic, iPhones technically do support wireless reverse charging, but they can exclusively juice up MagSafe power banks and only when these are attached to the back while the phone itself is plugged into a charging cable. Most of us have phones with 2 or more rear cameras nowadays, but the pioneer with both a wide and ultra-wide lens on the back was the 2016 LG G5. This device also let you swap out hardware modules just like the Moto Z we mentioned earlier. But the phone with the most cameras on the back, it's not an Oppo or a Xiaomi. It's the 2019 Nokia 9 PureView, which packed 5 separate cameras. It used 2 color and 3 monochrome sensors that all fired at the exact same time to capture some seriously rich photos. This setup also let that Nokia add synthetic bokeh to its photos, a feature the 2016 iPhone 7 Plus pioneered. But did it really? Actually, the first phone to ever sport a portrait mode was the HTC One M8 back in 2014, which was an all-aluminium Android phone. Still talking cameras, the Nokia Lumia 1020 is a legend for its 41 megapixel sensor and Xenon flash, but the actual last phone to ever carry a motion-stopping Xenon flash was the 2014 Samsung Galaxy K Zoom. iPhones might have made eSIMs a household name with the 2018 iPhone XS, but the real trendsetter was actually the Google Pixel 2 and 2 XL, which launched with eSIM support a whole year earlier. Before we had Pixels, Google gave us Nexus devices for that sweet, pure Android experience. But did you know you used to be able to buy flagships from Galaxy, HTC, and Sony with that same clean software? These were called Google Play Edition phones, and they got their updates straight from Google itself. Talking about a weird hardware and software mashup, the Galaxy Gear, which was Samsung's first smartwatch, rocked a 1.9 megapixel camera right on the strap. Even crazier, Samsung swapped out its Android software for their own Tizen OS right in the middle of its life cycle. Most of you probably remember the LG G Flex as the original curved screen smartphone, but the Samsung Galaxy Round was actually released 1 month before officially becoming the very first phone with a curved display. It's honestly not that shocking considering how much Samsung obsessed over curved screens and foldables. That actually brings us to a super interesting category of tech: the devices that were supposed to hit the shelves but ended up as secret prototypes. Take Samsung's Project V, for example. Long before the 2019 Galaxy Fold blew our minds, this project imagined a foldable phone with 2 separate displays, kind of like Microsoft's Surface Duo. Samsung eventually scrapped the project because they wanted to focus on actual folding panels instead. Speaking of Microsoft, even though the Surface Duo 1 and 2 weren't exactly massive hits, they were actually planning a Duo 3, and it featured a camera bar that looks identical to the iPhone 17 Pro Max even before Apple's device was a thing. Eventually, Microsoft shifted their priorities and the Duo 3 just never happened. Some of you might remember that the small Pixel 2 was built by HTC while the large 2XL was made by LG. Well, HTC was supposed to build the big model too, but their prototype looks so old school that Google picked LG for their flagship instead. The Motorola Moto X was the brand star player for a minute, but after Lenovo took over, things cooled off. This led to the cancellation of the Motorola Moto X5, which was set to feature an iPhone-style notch and 3D face scanning tech. And yup, we're back to Apple again. We all know about the infamous AirPower wireless charger that never launched. But here's an obscure fact. Around 2002, Apple built the very first iPad internally called 035. It was a portable touchscreen device, but when Steve Jobs realized that tech could be more cost-effective as a phone, he moved the whole team over to build the very first iPhone. So, which one of these tech facts was already using some space in your brain? Well, now it's your turn to drop some mind-blowing knowledge in the comments below. And let us know if you love this kind of content and want to see more videos just like this one. Oh, and before you go, share this video and spread obscure knowledge. Don't forget to give us a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hit subscribe because we're always testing the latest tech to help you make the best choice. We'll see you in our next video, and until then, take care.